So another reason why, I'm very proud of you and the campaign, to the Dean, I mean, our campaign, obviously, but the Dean Phillips campaign. I was up in New Hampshire. I mean, this was magic. You could feel the electricity, the buzz. I mean, it was thank you, New Hampshire. It was great to see
New
some
Hampshire
of you again.
really had some legs.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. But fast forwarding now, so you have Joe Biden, the Democratic nominee, Donald Trump, the Republican nominee, and most people I talk to who are objective and not Trump fans at all would agree that if that election gets held today, Trump wins. And so then the question is, can that change by November? And the arguments for the Biden campaign are things like, hey, people will realize what a jerk Trump is and get turned off. Possible. They also now have a giant money advantage, and they're starting to spend that money. So check it out. Joe Biden has a positive State of the Union, then embarks on a swing state tour, and now they're spending $30 million on ads in swing states. I was just in Pennsylvania.
A lot of Joe ads?
And there are Joe ads up the wazoo, and people are seeing them and saying things about them. And so here is the major question that we all really, so this, if you are concerned about who's going to win in November, want to figure out what's happening, the thing to do is see what's happening to the numbers at the end of April. Because if $30 million in, you do not see a bump in Joe's numbers in the swing states, or even nationally, but let's say the swing states in particular, it's going to go from anxiety to the sky is falling on the Democratic side. Because, and here's the major thing is that money's great. You'd rather have it than not have it. You'd rather have more of it than less of it. And Trump is spending money on legal stuff and is distracted. And, they're behind significantly by tens of millions of dollars. But does the money move the needle? And there's a $30 million experiment being run right now in the swing states. Will the money boost Joe's numbers? Now, there is a theory you could have of the case, which I'm going to say might be my theory,
okay.
is that at this point, voters know who these two dudes
Correct.
are.
That's my theory.
Have made up their minds, on the economy, and it's going to be very, very difficult for a piece of information or an advertisement to be like, oh yeah, wait a minute. Like that guy, I forgot he's the president. Like I like that, or it's like this. So this cake may be baked, but But if you want to see what the heck is going on, wait till late April and then see what's happening in the swing states and nationally. If Joe has gotten a meaningful bump,
Jeff Weaver, who was Bernie's campaign manager in 2016 and was an advisor on Dean campaigns, I got to know him a bit. He would say. If you put up a political ad and it doesn't move the needle, he would say, well, they just don't like the cookies. You bake the cookies, you made the cookies, they're delicious, but the people you're selling to, they just don't like them. Nothing you can do. They don't like your cookies. And that's possible. It's either already baked or, so I'm under the impression like Biden's, I don't think Biden's going to win right now. And I mean, the reality is things can change and do change, right? So you're talking about you have an attorney in politics between now and November. I mean, for examples between COVID or vaccines are both type of game-changing things.
But talking about the next 7 months. I do remember 2020 that did happen.
Or like 2008, the financial, Obama was maybe gonna win this thing, right? He was still dogging out with Hillary, and then the financial crash in September. So things happen. But here's where we stand right now, and I think it's worth noting because people I would say this to Democratic operators I trust, I like and respect. And I'm like, I don't think Joe's going to win. And they're like, no, he's going to pull it out. Don't you worry. And I was like, what numbers are you seeing there?
That we are not seeing. No.
And so right now, Trump is winning in the polling averages in Wisconsin, Arizona, Nevada, Michigan, North Carolina, and Georgia. He's also he's made Florida and Ohio no longer swing states. So he takes those. And then Pennsylvania he's technically winning, but it's more of a toss-up.
It's a toss-up, yeah.
Depends on the poll, right? Now, they're not landslides, but they're strong. Arizona's looking stronger every day. Wisconsin looking a little stronger. North Carolina looks essentially locked, and so does Georgia, right? He doesn't win all of them. He can take it with one of Wisconsin or Michigan, North Carolina, Georgia, Arizona, pretty much. That'll do it for you. So now to your point on the things being baked, what I don't know is what swing voters in those 6 or 7 states, if it's baked for them. I don't know that.
Now, again, I don't want Trump back. I was just in Pennsylvania supporting a couple of awesome forward candidates for Attorney General and Treasurer, who I think will draw in some really rational voters who I'm going to say are not going to be Trump voters. So we have this reverse coattails theory of November where we boost local sane candidates and in swing states like Pennsylvania, and then they draw in some sane voters. We're not going to be pulling the lever for Trump. And then you do that enough times, and then maybe you help avert disaster. So,
we're talking about on the margins, man. You're talking about 1,000 votes matters. Yep.
Exactly. Because is in 2020, despite the 7 million vote difference in the popular vote, the real gap was 50,000 votes in 3 key swing states.
Some of these candidates knock on 10,000 doors and win 1,002 voters.
Yes. So if you look at this contest in November, it probably gets decided by between 1 and 200,000 voters in 3 or 4 of the states that we're talking about. And so if we forward were to enlist 100 local candidates in these swing states and they each got 50 to 100 sane voters to show up that might not have voted otherwise, which could be a thing because some people are just going to be like, yeah, I'm out, because they're disheartened by selection. Now they're like, oh, I want to show up to support that person I like. So we could boost the non-Trump vote by 5 to 10,000 voters in a system that's going to get decided by 1 or 200,000. And we can do that on a price tag in the low millions in a system where we're going to spend $10 billion beating each other up. So this is a very high leverage, high impact way for us to be positive and helpful. And so if that sounds like a good plan to you, do go to forwardparty.com and support us in any way you can. So I'm taking action to reduce the chances of Trump winning. But one reason I'm doing it is because I think there's a real chance he does win. Hey YouTube, thanks for watching. Please do hit like and subscribe and hit that bell if you want to be notified every time a new episode drops. Thank you.